Longmont Police Department just drove by. I'm pointing in a very friendly way to them.
Oh, yes.
Oh, to them. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, I don't know why, you know, they're very well behaved. I don't know how many of them have guns, but I don't need to know.
Wear them around their neck.
Is somebody doing that?
We're having
Do those people scare you guys any at all?
No, but this is the first time they've been here.
I actually think that they've been here 2 times before. I know that they were here in October of 1 year.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they're not all crazy. I mean, you know, I'm serious. Some people have reasons that if you only look inside those reasons make sense.
Right? I know. Beautiful day.
My name is Siobhan. I own the Yellow Sea magazine, and I was just walking by and thought I'd go by.
Oh, it's a far left rag.
That's
You'll get a hit piece on you for this one, Jeff.
First Amendment.
No, this is live.
First Amendment, Second Amendment.
So the Second Amendment is the biggest issue. How you doing? All right, I'm with Yellow Sea magazine. I'm just going live here, so there's no editing. Can you guys tell me what you're out here for?
We're just out here supporting our freedoms and liberties as citizens of the United States of Colorado.
Do you feel that there's legislation that's taking away those rights?
There is, absolutely. Colorado's red flag legislation was one that was passed last year. That
Right.
does that.
Okay.
Because it was so poorly written that pretty much any innocent person can be targeted. We've already seen that in several cases already.
We're out here today counter-protesting the progressives in Longmont. I think they speak for everybody when it's not true. Even statistically, Longmont is pretty evenly split. About 33% independents, 33% Republicans, 33% Democrats. So we got tired of their crap and we're kicking things off with Rally for Our Rights gun rights demonstration. Nice. So I'm about to head over and see if I can talk to some of these people. Where's the sign about the Trump is a communist?
It's the one on the stick.
Oh, yeah?
That flag humping, whatever must go.
He
To the left of the green.
Says he's a communist?
sign. Yeah, flag humping line commie.
Yeah.
So that's weird.
Yeah. Hey!
Oh, that's good.
That's what I'm saying. We're not all lefties.
Tow truck driver over there.
Oh, these guys were?
Typical, yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
Trump's hate. Why don't do that anymore?
I talked to him.
Hey guys.
I just don't want to
It's not communist.
Fox News know less about politics.
I like your guys' signs. Yeah. Medicare for all. That's seems like every Democrat that's running is trying to do that, right?
Not quite.
Who's not? Out of president anyway.
Biden. I think that
Biden. Yeah, you're right. Biden's not for that.
People mix it up because I think more Democrats want Medicare for available for all.
Available for all.
Yes, available.
Oh,
I
okay.
think
How come your sign doesn't say that then? Medicare
Well,
available
you
for
know,
all.
it doesn't. That's all.
Oh, okay. Your signs are probably the biggest, huh? Holy cats! Liars, liars, mega, impeach his ass. Wow. You made all this, right?
No, I'm just holding it. A friend down here has a lot
Yeah.
of really good ones. So
Yeah, I think the last time we spoke, you liked Elizabeth Warren the best, right?
Well,
Has that
I
changed?
like a combination of Bernie and Elizabeth Warren.
Bernie is the front
Just
runner.
because I think he's earned it by being there for generations.
Well, hey, he's doing really well in
I know,
Iowa
he's
right
doing
now.
well,
He might get it, for sure.
I'm afraid that I'm an independent, so
Yeah.
I'm kind of suspicious that the Dems will put in whoever they want to.
Like last time.
And I'm not happy about that. I think we all ought to get our vote.
Yeah. Who do you guys like for president as for Democrats? You like Biden?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll beat Trump.
You think he'll beat Trump?
Yes.
Yeah. But what if he doesn't get out of the primaries? Because Bernie is really blazing a trail at this point. And I don't know if you guys follow Nate Silver at 538.
Like Bernie.
You don't like Bernie? What don't you like about Bernie?
Too old.
Too old? Well, Biden is 78 too, so I don't know.
He looks older.
Biden looks older?
No.
Bernie looks older?
Bernie looks older.
Bernie looks older?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like Elizabeth Warren too.
You like Elizabeth Warren? You take either one?
Elizabeth Warren, Biden.
Do you think they'll put in, if they did that, do you think it would be Biden this time?
Yeah.
Just like they did Hillary last
I
time?
think that'd be a big mistake. I think
Yeah.
that's why we got Trump in the first place.
Yeah.
Because they forced Hillary in.
I agree with you.
That's my feeling.
I agree with you. I think
Because
you're
the people want to change.
I think you're 100% right with that. Yep. I think both sides want to change, right? And you didn't.
Oh, yeah,
and
everybody
And Hillary
wanted
didn't.
change.
Wasn't that change? She was just the standard,
Yeah,
Democrat.
I think she would have been a whole lot better than Trump. Trump is a danger to our nation.
What do you think is
I
the most?
truly think so.
What do you think is the most dangerous thing about the Trump presidency?
The fact that he's the puppet for a bunch of smarter but greedy individuals that are really running things.
Yeah, like who?
Yeah, Putin I mean he's definitely smarter. Putin and the so-called Americans that are holding Trump up.
So, have you guys watched the debates then too?
Oh,
There's
yes.
Democratic debate, yeah. Do you feel like though? So your comment about him being old. Do you think that Biden is starting to deteriorate? I mean, he seems like he stumbles and trips over his words a
He
lot.
does a bit, but
Yeah.
it turns out I saw something about that. He's had mild speech problem all his life.
Oh, okay. Why wasn't it there during the Obama years then?
I think it was. It's just that
I don't remember that.
What I would really love to see is good old Republicans come back instead of. I want Congress to function,
Yeah.
and I want all sides
Yeah.
to be able to argue their points, and not for greed's purpose, not for the purpose of greed,
Yeah.
but for the purpose of making America.
Tell
the
me
best that it can be.
that what you just said is really interesting. What is a good old Republican in your opinion? Like what is it?
Well, I don't think the Republicans now are at all
Right.
what the original Republicans.
Right.
They were supposedly more conservative, wanted fewer taxes.
Fewer taxes,
And I don't know
smaller
whether.
government.
Yeah. And
And they just blow the budget out of the water. I don't disagree with that.
oh
yeah.
my God,
They spend
yeah.
and spend
I mean,
and
it's
spend
ridiculous.
and spend.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I want to get a woman president.
Yeah. Regardless of her ideas. Doesn't matter.
I don't go that far.
Not that far? Yeah. What out of Elizabeth Warren's package do you
well-
like the best? Like what if there's one thing that you like about her as far as her policy, because she's got all these plans, right?
Well, I think the Medicare thing I like. It's just that it needs to be modified a bit.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to let her have Medicare.
Oh.
No, it won't.
It won't.
No.
It won't. What if they do though? What if there's a true blue wave this time, and they get all three? They get the Senate. They get the House.
Enough people that don't want it for all. They want it available for all.
Available, yes.
available for all. But Medicaid kind of fits into that category already, right? How do you think we pay for something like that when the projections are coming out? The last one was 34 trillion, and that was for Bernie's plan. Elizabeth Warren's was actually 43 trillion. I'm just wondering, like, how actually will we pay for that?
There's a lot of changes have to occur in the whole medical thing.
If ideally for you, it would be Bernie as a front runner and then Elizabeth Warren maybe as a VP. I think that would be a pretty power-packed ticket for sure.
I think they'd be people that would get something done, and I think it would introduce a woman in a high. I would, and then I would say for her, she should run for president the next time, and people would see that she's a hard worker, she's in it for them, and and they would vote for her for president the next time.
Do you know what the federal budget is? The total federal budget for spending is in 2019?
About $1 trillion.
It's $4.45 trillion, right?
Well, that's too much for the military.
For the military.
Yeah.
The military is one of the biggest
yeah.
places of money.
Yeah. Do you know how much? Do you know how much we spent last year on the military as far as the budget goes?
Why do you ask?
Well, here's why, is because I think if people are advocating, I just wonder if people are advocating for such expensive programs like that, shouldn't we have a plan for how we're actually going to be able to pay for it? So it seems like, okay, tell me how we would do that. So tax the rich.
And also cut back on military spending. That's one of the biggest areas.
Yeah, I think we spend too much on the military as well. I agree with you. We spend 2 times as much, or 4 times as much as the next biggest military.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right? And these endless wars, I'm with you on that, for sure. If we did tax the rich, let's say we did it at 100%, how much do you think we would gain? How much?
100%. No.
But what if we did, just to play the game, right? How much would we get?
I don't know.
Let's just pretend, I'm not saying you guys are saying we would tax them 100%, but if we taxed 100% of the income if somebody made over $1 million, right, per year, so that's most rich people, you'd get $616 billion one time, and that's the idea is, well, you kind of wipe out their wealth. So that's where I wonder, like, okay, let's say you even tax them at 100% one time.
I know you can't.
You're not going to be able to
These
keep.
are not simple problems.
Yeah.
And I do think that we have to be careful of what we do with health insurance because we don't want to kill the budget.
Would you still vote for Bernie if Bernie got the nomination? You would, no matter what.
Anyone against Trump.
Anyone against Trump.
Right.
What if Hitler was running?
Hi, Strider.
Hey, Bernie. Strider.
Yeah. Would you still, like, what if somebody like that was running? Would you still?
I don't think there are any Hitlers.
But if they were, right? I mean, you kind of just said it. Like, if anybody but Trump,
we're
right?
through. Why don't you argue with him?
I'm not arguing. I'm just asking questions. Yeah, just asking questions. What's your sign say there, Strider? Kangaroos have joeys. Trials have evidence. Trials have evidence / witnesses. Okay. So what does that sign mean to you, Strider?
That means they're having a fake trial in the Senate right now that's already prejudged. They're going to let him off, and they are making it impossible to have witnesses or documents.
Yeah.
By orders from our dictator who calls himself president.
Why didn't the House?
The House did.
What? No.
They did.
They didn't. They didn't. So they did, but they could have.
I watched it. I know.
I do too, Strider. So you're right.
I forgot your name.
They did, Lance. So they did. They did have some witnesses in the House, right? But
they had as many as they could get.
Trump
blocked them.
They could have kept going. That's actually a lie that you just told. They could have had more witnesses, but they refused to do it.
But they have 13. Something like that.
They could have had more. So that's my question is, like, I hear this all the time, is that, well, the Senate's not allowing witnesses. Well, they're supposed to conduct the trial. Why didn't the Democrats drag it out till they get all the witnesses they want out there?
Because number one, it's impossible because the courts would hold it up. Number two,
wouldn't that apply to the Senate then too?
Impeachment is identical to a grand jury, and
wouldn't that apply to the Senate too?
I'm trying to answer your question. If you bring up prosecution.
Uh-huh.
You have a grand jury and they decide, was a crime committed, is it worthwhile pursuing? And then it goes to trial. And then you get the witnesses and the documents.
Sure.
Trump blocked all the witnesses, almost all of them, and blocked all the documents. He threatened 3 or 4 more of the witnesses, but a few of them
Let's
came
go back.
anyway.
Let's go back to one of the things you said. One of the things you said is that the courts would tie up those witnesses forever and make it impossible.
He's polluted the courts. I know that.
So wouldn't that same logic apply in the Senate then?
No, the Senate has sole authority over how to conduct an impeachment trial.
They do, exactly. So then if they decide that they aren't going to do the House's job by not doing more witnesses,
Not the House's job, the Senate's job is to have a trial.
I think you just admitted that the Senate actually can do whatever they want because they have the sole authority.
Yeah, they have the full authority.
Yep.
But trials have witnesses, and it's
What do you
called a trial.
What do you think about
documents?
What do you think about the fact that Biden has said that he won't go and testify?
Actually, he changed it.
Oh, now he's going to do it?
Well, I believe that he turned it down.
He's irrelevant to the issues at hand.
But
and
fair
therefore-
enough. Okay, I'll concede. Even though Biden may be irrelevant, what do you think about the fact that he won't get up on stand?
He might do it.
He might do it. Okay.
I mean, as a counter to the prevention of witnesses.
What do you?
He might submit himself to that.
Would you be for or against Biden doing that, going up on the and talking?
It's irrelevant. It gets to be a political matter, but the actual charges have nothing to do with him.
Who do you like for president that's running for Democrats right now?
Elizabeth Warren.
Why do you like her?
Because she's serious. She's spent her whole lifetime fighting for justice. She's committed. She's got a clean record, and she's strong enough to bring up the real issues, but also steady and stable enough to address people who are in different circumstances. I like Bernie, but he's a little bit too extreme in that regard.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah.
But I'm just like Michael Moore, but on the other side. Michael's totally for Bernie, but he says Elizabeth would be okay.
Would be okay.
I'm on the other way. I think Elizabeth.
What plan of hers do you like the best?
Just the idea. I mean, there are several things with a little bit of. I'm glad that she.
Maybe just one.
I'm glad that she came back to the gradually going in Medicare for all.
Have you heard any estimates or read any about what it might cost to do her Medicare for all plan?
Well, let me just counter question briefly.
Okay.
No one ever asks about how do you pay for the military and the war.
I do.
Well,
I do.
publicly?
Huh?
Publicly?
We're in public right now. Yeah, you just asked me. I'll be happy to answer if you answer mine first.
Well,
have you read the numbers? If you haven't, I could tell you what the figures come out at.
Well, I think she said $7 trillion over 10 years.
That's what she said, and then there was some independent analysis done by actually some left-wing reporters from like Vox, and they came out with $43 trillion. And so the federal budget right now is $4.5 trillion. So she's proposing something that would cost 10 times as much as our current federal budget. How would we even do that?
That's bogus. We already pay at least twice as much as any other country in the world.
They were actually leftists. They were actually leftist reporters that actually did the independent.
That guy's got a long gun. I guess it's all because of you.
Maybe I threatened. You mean my friends carrying a long gun?
Yeah.
Chuck?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Chuck.
I got some good video of this flag.
Oh.
It's actually pretty elaborate.
Yeah. I mean, they're not all crazy. I mean, I'm serious. Some people have reasons that if you only look inside those reasons make sense.